I hope you'll join me as we just continue to move forward and do some things and make some stuff happen. That's really what it comes down to. Man, it's been an interesting couple of days, just kind of reflecting on everything we've done and everywhere we're going. So with that being said, let's jump into what we're going to talk about. I got a couple of things on the list that we can get into, and I thought it would be good, and then maybe we'll do some Fall Guys in a little bit. Yeah, she did. Pixie did get hers. She put hers on her ears, which was kind of fun, and I appreciate that. Very much so. Very much so. So, you ate yours? I believe that. I believe that completely. It'll be with me always, no matter what. So let's get into the epic news. We got to keep talking about it because it's not going away, right? I just bragged to my spouse about what I got and he didn't LOL. Aww. Aww. Well, it's part of it. Sassy, you get it. Apple fires back at Epic. Literally, you get it. We won't make an exception. Quote, the problem Epic has created for itself is one that can easily be remedied. This is interesting. So we know if you've been stuck in the woods, you might not know this, but if you've been watching, you know this. Long story short, Epic added a way to directly take payment for their in-app purchases, bypassing the Apple Store. Apple turned around and said, no, you can't do that, and discontinued having Fortnite in the Apple App Store. Now, what has happened from there has been an interesting twist and turn, and it brings us to an interesting position. Now they're going to discontinue the Apple development program, which includes Unreal Engine, and every developer is affected by that who uses UE, because that's an Epic product. And now Apple has even threatened to remove Fortnite from users' phones, in addition to no longer allowing them to download it from the App Store. So now they're going to pull the app remotely from your device. Kind of crappy, but also you broke the TOS. Epic had said that Apple is threatening to revoke its access to iOS and Mac developer tools by removing it from the Apple developer program unless it cuts a rule-violating payment processing option that it snuck into Fortnite. That's probably not going to happen. A lot of people blame Apple for this when I'm still on the side of Apple. Well, I'm always of the advocate for the consumer first. I'm always going to go consumer first, but only to a point. And that point for me usually is, does this make sense for the business? I think it does if you're Apple. You broke the rule. You have to play by the rules. You chose not to, and you're going to have to face the consequences from you breaking the rule. I said this on Twitter today. It's no different than a 5-year-old going, oh, I can't get into, I can't do, I broke the rule, and here's why I did it, but I should be allowed to do whatever I want anyway. No, you shouldn't be allowed to do whatever you want anyway. It's not right. And because of that, you still have to go into timeout. You still have to get your consequences. You still have chores. You still have grounding, whatever it is. In Apple's case, it's removal from the App Store, which nobody wants. But here we are. The 30% cut Epic seems to have a problem with. This is not a new cut. This is not a cut they didn't know existed. And quite frankly, I don't quite understand why now, other than the fact that maybe they thought because Apple was in an antitrust lawsuit in the EU, they could go in right now and get their money and Apple wouldn't notice. Apple's a really big company. I think they're going to notice. Just me. I mean, Paul, you're not necessarily wrong. I believe no company can be greedy. The only people that can be greedy are the shareholders or the CEO of the company. Shareholders invest in a stock to make profit, and a company has to make profit in order to keep the CEO and to keep the business, or the stock falls in price and they go out of business. So essentially, we are greedy humans who invest in companies, and it's our fault that this happens. It really is. But to your point on proprietary, 100%. Now keep this in mind. Apple's doing it. Google's doing it. Microsoft does it. Sony does it. Nintendo does it. This isn't just Apple. So when Epic decides to do this, they've only done it with the iOS version of Fortnite. They haven't done it with the other 4. That's not true. They did it with Google too. But they haven't done it with the console games. They only did it with mobile. Technically, everybody's proprietary when it comes to this decision that they're making, which is, I am going to bypass your app store and take payment directly. You don't get to go into somebody's house and do that. So for that, I kind of side with Epic, or with Apple rather, and not with Epic, because play by the rules that you knew you were getting into. You don't get to come into the house, go by the rules, and then change the rules to your liking and go, that's not fair. Well, you knew what the rules were. You agreed to do it. You were here for over 2 years, and now you have a problem with it? Something's fishy, right? Usually I'm team not Apple. Anybody against Apple I will typically side with. But for all intents and purposes here, I'm typically going to lean towards Apple. Just me. It just makes sense. Otherwise, we're setting a weird precedent that anytime a game company wants to bypass where they're actually selling their product, they can do that, and the company selling the product for them are stuck without any revenue stream. That's not going to be how that works. Like, there's no way that can happen. So this is going to be settled in court. Who loses at the end of the day? We talked about this on Twitter today. Users, gamers, we all suffer the consequence because we don't get the ability to play the games that we want to play where we want to play them. This is bigger than Stadia. This is bigger than Game Pass. This is a company going after the almighty dollar, and the other company not backing down. That's really what it is. Epic decided not to back down. They went in. Apple said, okay, fine. We're going to cut you out. Epic said, here's a lawsuit. Apple said, we're going to take your whole damn company down. And they did. So it kind of sucks because now developers are going to lose out on money. People can't play their games the way they want to. And we have a lawsuit with a potential bad idea for case law and precedent that we otherwise would not have had. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. We got a raid in the house, though. We got to give up some love. Pixie with the raid. Thank you. Bringing in your pate up in here. I appreciate that. Pixie in the house, thank you.